The real estate market across this entire country right now is ultra competitive, and having the right person at your back, dealing with all these challenges coming through the transaction is absolutely essential. You're going to need that experience. So how do you find that experience? Well, you got to get out there and interview some realtors before even getting into that process. So what questions do you ask? Well, that's all going to be coming up for you in this video. So make sure you stick around because it's coming up next.
Maybe we should have seen that we were both betrayed. What if we could set fire to those...
Hey residents, welcome back to the channel. My name is MJ. I'm a realtor out here in Las Vegas, Nevada, working with Berkshire Hathaway brand. And here on this channel, we tour all around the Las Vegas Valley looking at builder model homes, as well as existing inventory to make your next shopping experience for your next home all the more easy. But on today's video, we're going to be doing a real talk discussion of how to interview a buyer's agent and how many should you be talking to. Well, the second answer is very easy. As many as it takes to find the right person for the job for you. Now, these questions, I have 6 of them for you today, as well as some follow-up questions for each of those. Now, each question is going to be subjective to each individual agent and how you perceive their answer. I'm going to tell you straight up, go with your gut here. If you trust them and what they're saying, that's probably going to be the agent for you, even if it's the first one. Now, I will warn you, however, us as agents, we go through training to be able to answer questions on the fly. We practice this. These are called scripts. A lot of the agents do these, and you'll start to see, as you interview agents, you'll start seeing the same answer over and over and over again. Now, these are probably scripts. However, there are questions and indicators that you can watch for. Just use your gut here and go with who you think is going to be best and be able to fight for you in the negotiation process. Let's get started. The first question is really easy. Are you full-time or are you part-time? I probably don't even have to explain this to you for you to understand why, but let me go through some of the reasons. First off, you don't want a person that's working a full-time job elsewhere. You have to wait till 6 till they're off of work to be able to even talk to them or to get a response to your question. That's not going to be acceptable, especially in today's market when they should be in the office looking for houses for you in the FSBO market, off-market properties, using their creative style to be able to get you into the home that you really, really want. Second, if they're full-time, they are giving you their full attention. They're able to answer your questions quickly, and they have that experience. You know that they are making a living from this when they say they do this full-time. This is their livelihood. This is what they go to work for to provide for their families and pay their mortgage. So you know that they're going to do a good job for you. As far as follow-up questions to this one, I have 2. First off, what drove you to become a realtor? This is kind of an interesting question, and this is going to be subjective, obviously person to person, and you're going to take the answer how you take it. Sometimes the agent might script this and just say, hey, I'm a full-time agent, I always have been, da 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 da. Watch for that, watch for the monotone, watch for the roboticness. This is where you're going to start to get a feel of who the person actually is. As far as the second follow-up question here, I would ask if they're a newer agent, what their previous profession was or their previous job. Sometimes you might be surprised by their answer. What if they were a food server and they can provide you with the best possible customer service that they know how to do? Yeah, the person may not know the contracts up and down, but guess what? They have an office manager or maybe even a team leader to help them out through the process to make sure it's all done right the first time. And chances are they probably have a TC if they're on a team, which is a transaction coordinator, to help them out with all the contracts and stuff as well. The next talking point is an interesting answer, is kind of a personal question, and it's going to give you a good idea of who the person is. But I would ask, what drives you to be the best realtor? Now, there is no right answer here. For me, I come from the hospitality industry, so I actually love taking care of people and seeing people happy. So for me, it's all about the client. The paycheck is a byproduct. Now, some realtors might say, I'm here for the paycheck. For me, I would probably put that as a little bit of a red flag depending on what else they say, but that's completely up to you and how you feel while you're interviewing that particular realtor. Which segues into the follow-up question of what is your why? So like I said, a lot of realtors are just there for the paycheck. For me, it's kind of one of those field of dreams type things. If you build it, they will come. So if I do a good job out there and I'm making people happy and I start getting referral business, that means I'm doing a good job. Getting paid is a byproduct of being a realtor, whether they like to realize it or not. That's that simple fact of the matter. So just get out there, do a good job, have a good time doing it, and make sure that your clients are happy and well taken care of. Everything else will be fine. The third question I would ask is, are you good with communication? And you should be asking this probably in every single interview you ever do. Myself, I personally take it as, how quickly am I going to respond to a person given the importance of the question? So if it's an absolute emergency, yeah, I would probably step away from a moment, just excuse myself and give you a quick call, let you know what's up, and get back to what I was doing. However, if it's not an immediate emergency, you just need to know, like, I may not answer you right away, but just know I'm busy at the moment and I'm going to call you back as soon as I have a chance to do that. You're going to be next on my priority list. Now, if a realtor answers by saying, oh, it doesn't matter what time you call me, if I'm on my deathbed, I'm going to answer the phone and da-da-da-da-da, that's probably not the right answer, and they're probably just looking to buy your business by saying something like that. So I would probably treat that as a red flag. I know there's a lot of realtors out there that will probably say that just to try to buy your business, but that's probably not the right answer. You need to be working with somebody you trust and not somebody that's going to be lying straight to your face. So just keep that in mind, and as with anything in life, take everything with a grain of salt and analyze it a little bit. As a follow-up question here, I would ask, how often can I expect to hear an update from you? Now, for me personally, when I'm working with a buyer, I communicate with my buyer regularly, so I don't really have to give updates too much. Now, there are critical points in a process, such as the offer, the inspection, the appraisal, things like that, as well as sending out paperwork and all that other good stuff. Now, those I probably update the client about once a day to say, hey, I haven't heard back, or hey, we heard back and this is the result. What would you like to do moving forward? Things like that. Just kind of explain everything. But as far as an example, I'm in a transaction right now that is for a probate property. We're kind of just in limbo right now, waiting for the court date to come by. So I'll just be updating my client once a week and just say, hey, everything's good. We're still good to go. I'll see you on the date of the court hearing. Just keep in mind that every realtor is probably going to answer just a slightly bit different here. It's just a good question to ask, just so they're more aware of what your concerns are and how to treat you. Now, as far as the fourth question goes, I would ask, why should I hire you? This is a very, very tough question, and I'm just going to go ahead and state the follow-up question. It's what sets you apart from other realtors? This is a very, very interesting one. You're going to start to see potentially the realtor lock up and freeze up a little bit. A lot of realtors might be scripted here. Some might be very natural. Keep in mind here that there are people out there, as with anything, there are some sociopaths that just can lie like a champ, so just try to read the person as best as you can. There's going to be a whole variety of answers here too. So for me, it's just all about caring for the client and finding and taking the time to get out there and find the home that they want and the area they want for the price that they want, using every single tool I can, from the for sale by owner to off-market properties to the MLS, any way I possibly can to be able to find the home that they want. As far as the fifth question goes, I would ask, how do you handle the negotiating process? This is kind of a critical point, and this is what you're really hiring your realtor to do. When it comes down to the nitty gritty and when you need them the most is when it's going to be saving you money. So there are three critical points of negotiation in the process. One is the initial offer and getting that offer accepted. That's what it's all about, getting that offer accepted and making your offer the most powerful that you possibly can to be able to get yourself accepted. Second, the inspection. There's a lot of critical points in the inspection. There could be stuff wrong with the home, and there's definitely tools and methods to be able to bring the price of the house down using the inspection to your power. Third, the appraisal. If the home does not come back appraised value and you're getting a loan, you're going to have some issues. So there's going to be a third point of negotiation. You do not want a realtor to lock up on any of these particular points, but rather advise you of what the best method of proceeding is and warn you of any cautions ahead in the road. So you guys are working together to make the best possible situation and win that house for you. As a follow-up question on this one, I would literally go into detail on each one of those. What happens if there's multiple offers on the home? What if the inspection comes back and it just looks like garbage? There's something wrong with the roof. What if the appraisal comes under value and we didn't offer anything else? What are you going to do to negotiate me into a better situation? Any realtor of worth here is going to be able to speak from experience and show you that they have done this in the past and show you how, step by step, how to turn that L into a W for you. The sixth and final question here is, I would ask, how do you get the majority of your business? This is a really interesting question. It's going to give you a good idea of how much experience they have. If they have most of their business come from referrals, you know that they're doing a good job for their previous clients and that they're going to do a good job for you moving forward. They have the experience and they know what they're doing. If they say they have a 50-50 mix, that's not a bad thing either. However, if they're getting most of their business from Zillow or Redix or some other lead generating platform, I would probably take that as a red flag based on what their full answer was. Just because they're not getting that referral business, I would be looking into their reviews as well online. So just take that with a grain of salt. As far as a follow-up question here, I would ask, how many transactions do you complete a year? Personally, my goal is 14 in a year. There are many agents that do way more transactions than I do. There are some that push anywhere upwards of 100 transactions a year. That's absolutely bananas. I can't even imagine that. Just being that busy. Personally, I would not put myself in the situation to be a client for that particular agent, as they are just going to be way too busy to give you the time that you deserve, especially in the market today. And just kind of a final follow-up question, I would ask, how many clients are you working with right now? Are you going to be able to give me the time that I deserve? That just kind of makes sense as a good follow-up question there. But anyway, that's going to about wrap it up for this video. I really congratulate you for taking the step in the home buying process. I really hope this video helps you out. If you have any further questions, let us know in the comments below. Send me a private message if you prefer. We will definitely get a discussion going. If you do enjoy this type of content, make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit that bell notification so you don't miss a single video when I upload. And as always, I really appreciate you guys watching all the way to the end of the video. We'll see you guys next week for the seller side of interview questions. Later.
Get me out of here.